Cat TV is celebrating 30 years of community media. Help support Cat TV's next 30 years by becoming a member today. Your membership will help us continue covering meaningful, local content. Thank you for supporting your local community media station.
Hello everyone, my name is Jean Connor and I'm running for a third term on the Bennington Select Board. Before I get started, I just want to thank Cat TV for giving all the candidates an opportunity to introduce ourselves to the community. It's very important and I'm really glad I was able to participate. So who am I? I have lived in Bennington with my husband since 1989 and I realized about an hour ago that we moved into our first house 33 years ago today. So I just thought that was an interesting fun fact. We raised our two kids here, obviously. My professional working life has mostly been in the fundraising development side of things. I've worked for several area not-for-profits in the region, including the hospital, the Bennington Museum, and I'm currently at Buxton School in their development office. I served for 8 years on the BSD school board, and I've also served on several boards of area not-for-profits. I take the responsibility of being on the select board very seriously. I'm always prepared. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, I've missed one meeting in 6 years. I am a stickler for accuracy and the truth and doing business properly according to the open meeting law. I'm honest, thoughtful, measured, reasonable, optimistic. I use common sense and I try to see things from different perspectives when I'm making decisions. People ask me, why do I want to serve another term and what is important to me? That's a very long answer, but I'm going to hit the highlights. I want to continue to participate in the community policing process first and foremost. I want to move the YMCA, Ben High, and town relationship forward. And I want to see the ARPA funding process through to the end. I want to serve alongside my fellow select board members, and it is my hope that the other Jean is also reelected for 3 more years. We are a very active board who is not deterred by difficult initiatives or projects. We work together well and have accomplished a lot. In my case, there will be no learning curve. I can take a seat at the table and not miss a beat. Continuity at this point is really important to move those 3 big projects that I spoke about a moment ago forward and not lose momentum. While I do consider myself to be optimistic, I don't have my head in the clouds. I'm aware and appreciate Bennington has serious issues that need attention and creative solutions. I will support solutions that make sense and will produce results. I'm a very strong believer in a vibrant downtown. A thriving downtown does many things for a community. It builds community, supports tourism, and is an economic driver. It also provides us with a wonderful gathering space where everyone is welcome. The mission statement created by the community in August of 2020 is very meaningful to me. I have the privilege of reading it at each select board meeting, and I take every word of it to heart. I would like to read it to you now. Bennington is a welcoming, engaged, inclusive, resilient community where everyone, regardless of identity, shares in our vitality and benefits from an outstanding quality of life. So in closing, when you're casting your ballot on Election Day, which is March 1st, or voting early, I would appreciate it if you would think about what I've said today. I will serve the town of Bennington and North Bennington with integrity, passion, and commitment as I have for the last 6 years. Thank you so much.
Hello, my fellow Benningtonians. I'm Tom Haley, and I'm running for my first full term on the Bennington Select Board. It's hard to believe that it was a year ago since I first won my seat filling out the term of the late Bill Scully. It's been an honor to serve my town and its people, but my work is not done. We have made a lot of progress this year toward transparency, toward improving our police department. We've hired a communications director and are in the process of redoing the town's website to make it more accessible to more of our citizens. We passed a declaration of inclusion that says that everyone and anyone is welcome in our community and deserves the opportunity to excel. All of this is ongoing work. We need to think outside the box, especially in this era of COVID, when everything is much more difficult than it used to be. We're facing a housing crisis in this town. There simply are not enough apartments available for the people that want to fill them, from the affordable housing that we so dearly need, but also all the way across the economic spectrum. We have a homeless crisis in this town that we need to address not only by providing affordable housing, but also by addressing the very special needs of this population. We have an opioid crisis in this town, and indeed across this nation. And this, we are not unique. But we have made some steps. We've been working with Pathways Vermont, and we're hoping to be able to expand that work. Our work on inclusion is ongoing. By the time this airs, Jeannie and I will have presented a list of ideas, actionable ideas, that can take our Declaration of Inclusion from words to practice, both as a town and as a community. Town government can take the lead on many of these issues, but without the active participation of each of our citizens, we will not succeed. I want to help continue this work, and I would appreciate everyone coming out on town meeting day this year, casting your ballot. I'll be outside. I'd be willing to answer any questions you have, and thank you very much for your time this evening.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Jenkins, and I'm running for re-election for the Bennington Select Board. I love living in Bennington, and I'm really happy to be able to talk with you briefly today. I'm running because the decisions that the Select Board makes in the next few years will determine what Bennington is for the next few decades. It's important that the Select Board act with vision and with focus. I believe that we need to prioritize, particularly on economic development and extending Bennington's welcome to everyone. The revitalization that we're seeing in the downtown is really fantastic. We'll need to keep up that momentum. We also need to think about housing. It's a primary concern for us, and while we've made some strides, we still need to do much, much more. The town has been a leader in providing partnerships for community and business groups that want to extend projects that are transformative. With the ARPA and infrastructure money that's coming down the pike, we have even more opportunities to take big ideas and put them into action. It's important that we have leadership as we move forward. Fostering a welcoming environment in Bennington is really critical. Safety, trust, and a sense of belonging are all key components. Everything we do, from re-examining policing policy to looking at education and health outcomes, really matter. We need to continue the trainings and the collaboration between the community and the police department, and we need to seat the new community review board. It's important to celebrate our successes, such as Head Start Spring Center in the heart of Bennington. What they have done is create a new community hub for us, as well as expand our early education offerings. We also want to create and support outdoor spaces, such as the ones we're seeing at the Splash Pad, the Riverwalk, and the soon-to-be renovated Willow Park Playground. These provide places for us to come together as neighbors and as a community. The continuing partnership with the YMCA is very, very important, as are transformative projects like the one contemplated at Bennington at Ben High. These will make our community what we want it to be. None of this happens without long-term planning and attention. We all want government to be supportive, decent, and ready to help, but that is a bare minimum. What I bring to the Select Board is vision and a willingness to put in the work that it takes to make transformative change. Bennington is at an important moment in time. Let's seize it. Thank you.
Good afternoon to valued citizens of Bennington, Vermont. I'm Pete Niles, and I'm running for Bennington Select Board. A little thing about myself, I recently retired from the Coast Guard after 36 years of active duty service. I commanded 4 ships and actually traveled to 48 countries during my 36-year career. My last assignment was as a deputy commander for New Jersey, New York, all the way up past Albany, for all the maritime inspections, search and rescue, and law enforcement. You may ask me, why do I want to be on the Select Board? It's quite easy. I find this to be a continuation of my military service. But greater, I owe Bennington a bunch of gratitude. While I was deployed over in West Africa and Liberia during the Ebola epidemic, many Bennington residents stepped up to help raise my family and take care of them, namely the police department and fire department. They took my son in, made him an intern and a junior firefighter, and helped him deal with my deployment. I have forever gratitude to them, and this is the next logical step for me to continue to serve and pay back to them. So I've sat on the police review board, and I listened to that and saw a lot of things that were done. Some of my priorities are safety of our residents, young and old. And in doing that, we must ensure that our police, fire, and rescue squad are the most trained, equipped, and funded departments around. That way they serve us better. The police department has had a lot of change. They've accepted that change and recognized that they needed to change. But I want you to know, I do support law enforcement officers, and I support their safety, and I support them making us safe. I can assure you that I will ask the why questions at meetings. I want to know why we are doing something, and I promise you I will ask that. I applaud all the downtown renovations. Man, it looks beautiful. I just sat in a coffee house. It's great. But I would also like to expand that to all of Bennington. We have business owners around all of Bennington who've been in business for 30 years. And I applaud every business owner for staying open during COVID. We must find ways to incentivize those businesses to stay open so patrons can use those businesses during hours that they're available. I want to work with Southwestern Vermont Medical Center on utilizing the old Southern Vermont campus. This availability or potential to use that green space is a once-in-a-generation thing that this town can benefit from. There is no better location to enjoy the beauty of our county from those grounds, and I look forward to working with them. I think we need to find a way to get people housing. And that includes bringing in new teachers. Right now, a present-day teacher, a new teacher can't find somewhere to live around this area. We need to work to expand our housing for those people. Our kids depend on it. Lastly, I promise you, I may not have all the answers, but I will have the questions. I'm ready to take the next watch. My engines are ready to answer all bells. Thank you, and I look forward to serving you.